not just for when you're weeks 2 through 6 postpartum. You may be starting this program and you're further out, that's fine. This is just a posture mobility flow that is gonna work on mobilizing your thoracic spine, that mid-back, working on some posture in terms of opening up the chest and opening up the shoulders. So what you're gonna need is a band, preferably just a light to medium resistance band. If you don't have a band, that's fine. You don't have to have a band, but if you have one, grab one. And then I have a chair here. If you're close to a couch or an ottoman, that works as well, but if not, grab a chair close by. And we'll go ahead and get started. We're gonna spend about a minute or 8 to 10 repetitions for each exercise, okay? So if you don't get them all in, that's fine. You can always spend more time and just pause the video, but turn on some of your favorite music, and we're just gonna get a good little posture mobility flow going. Should feel good. This is great to do if you're after nursing or holding your baby for a while. So we're gonna start on all fours, hands and knees, and we're gonna do a lumbar cat cow first, okay? So you're arching, inhale, exhale, tuck your bottom under, and round your spine, okay? Working on spinal mobility. So just flow through this. Again, we're doing about 8 to 10 repetitions each. Breathe through it. That's the biggest thing here with these exercises. Don't hold your breath to really get the most out of them. You want to breathe through it. So inhale, arch your back slightly, exhale, round. You can do it the other way too if you'd rather reverse that inhale and exhale. But just keep breathing. Really work on getting that movement coming from your spine as you round. This should just feel nice and refreshing to your spine, getting some movement in those joints. If you have any pain with this, we definitely want you to hold off, don't push through pain, and maybe get a further assessment to take a look at what's going on. Okay, so now we're gonna do that same thing, but we're gonna focus on the mid-back. So you're gonna rock your butt back towards your heels, hands are on the ground. This is gonna take that movement out of your low back, and we're gonna work on the mid-back, okay? So same thing, kind of round your spine, and then arch, and kind of let your trunk sink forward. Should feel that through your mid-back, and same thing, just breathe through it. So keep going here if that feels good. Inhale, again, we're getting most of that movement through that mid, upper back rather than our low back. If you're having trouble feeling it, you can continue if that feels good. If you're having trouble feeling it, grab a band and put it on your mid back for some feedback. Inhale, round into that band. Exhale, let it come down. Inhale. And just continue to flow through this. So again, working on that mid-back mobility. That should feel great, especially after pregnancy, all that forward position that we get into. So next, we're gonna come down onto one side. We're gonna do both sides here. We're gonna do side-lying thoracic rotation. So you're gonna bend your knees up, okay? You're going to reach forward and then open up with that top arm as you reach forward with that top knee. That's gonna, again, help take that movement out of your low back and focus on the mid-back and chest opening. Okay, so inhale, exhale, reach with that top knee, open, feel a good stretch through your mid-back and your chest. You can also squeeze something between your knees, like a foam roller or a yoga block. That also can help you lock out that low back a little bit more and focus on getting good rotation from that mid back. So if you're feeling this in your low back, you're gonna wanna play around with that. Maybe you need to bring your knees up a little bit more. Maybe you need to squeeze something between your knees. You don't have to open your arm here too on your exhale. You can also just kind of rest your hand on your rib cage as you open up there for a good rotation. Again, remember, reaching with this top knee is gonna help you really work and rotate through that mid back versus that low back. Just breathe through it. Good. And then we're gonna switch sides. So same thing here, we're gonna do inhale, reach with that top arm. Exhale, rotate open as I'm reaching with my top leg. Feel a good rotation there. This is one of my favorite ones also to do after you've spent a lot of time nursing and you just get in those forward positions. Our shoulders and our head comes forward. This is just a great one to open up through the chest and that mid back. We need that mid back mobility to help our healing core postpartum. Your back needs to rotate just for good function. And with that stiffness, it's very common to experience stiffness in the mid back postpartum. So this is definitely something we want to address, especially if you're having neck tension. Okay, so that's a good opener there. Next, we are moving on to arm slides. So you're gonna lie on your back here, knees bent, arms at goal posts here to your sides. Okay, we're inhaling through our nose, rib cage expands, exhale, let that rib cage come down and in as your arms slide, okay? I don't wanna see you arching your back like this. Your rib cage should come down so that your core activates there. As your arms slide overhead. This is a great posture exercise. Chest opener. Only go as far up as you can before your arms lift, okay? I don't want you struggling to maintain this position, okay? So if I went up any more, I'd start to arch, so don't do that. Only go up with your arms as high as you can go, maintaining good form, not letting your low back arch and ribs flare in the front. Keep your chin tucked, don't let your chin come up like this. And you're going overhead. And you should really feel just a good stretch through those pecs as you reach overhead. And your forearms and hands are staying, you know, in contact with the ground here as you slide up. And then keeping that rib cage down. This is great practice because we want, you know, in day-to-day life, we want our rib cage to stay down to keep our core engaged as we would reach our arms overhead. So we want to work on that here too, not letting that rib flare forward. So that one should feel good. After you've done that, we're going to switch to a mobilization. So this is where you need your chair. So you're gonna grab your chair or couch, ottoman, whatever you've got close to you, and we're gonna work on that mid-back mobilization. So you're gonna come close to the chair, my elbows are resting on the chair, and I'm sinking in, feeling that good stretch through my mid-back, breathing, exhale, maybe I can sink a little further. If that's uncomfortable, you can do, you know, keeping your arms straight if you'd rather do that. The main thing here is we're breathing into our back, so really breathe, send that air into your mid-back, and then on your exhale, you're going into that extension of your thoracic spine. So your chest and ribs will kind of sink towards the floor a little bit, and your mid-upper back will extend. Inhale. Fill with air, exhale, sink down a little bit more, go into that extension. If you have neck pain or shoulder pain, these are all great to do to help with that. However, if any of these are giving you pain, we do want to be cautious of pushing into pain. So don't push into pain, make sure you reach out or are working with a physical therapist or pelvic floor therapist to help you through that. Okay, so that's your thoracic mobilization. And the last one we have in our mobility flow for this is Taffy Pools. So this is where you're gonna grab your band, and if you don't have a band, that's okay, you can do the movement without the band. So you're gonna grab onto the band, palms facing up, elbows start at your sides, you're pulling the band apart, and then you're slowly coming back in, okay? Pull the band apart, opening up through the shoulders, you're working the rotator cuff muscles here, some of the scapular stabilizers, and that slow back to the start position, okay? So you should really feel your shoulder blades kind of squeeze together as you open and pull that band apart, okay? And then the focus on that slow back is very important, okay? Don't let the band just come back like this. So pull that band apart, come back in. So you should feel those rotator cuff scapular stabilizers start to burn there when doing that. And again, if you didn't have a band, if you don't have one, you can just do this opener, palms facing up, still squeezing the shoulder blades back, opening up through the shoulders, rotating those hands and shoulders out to the sides. Okay, so same thing. But if you have a band, that's gonna add a little bit of extra burn, some more strengthening there to this posture exercise. So that is your posture mobility flow. There's 5 exercises, really 6 with the 2 cat-cow variations, but all of these videos can be found in individual videos going over more details about form if you're having trouble with one of the particular exercises. So make sure you check those out if you want a little bit more to make sure you're doing them right. But you can always repeat this video and start again and do this posture mobility flow again, or you can just continue to do it anytime you want to, when it feels good after a nursing session or after you've been holding baby for a while, or just really to feel good and help prevent those aches and pains.